Well, hello and welcome. I'm Guy Stevens from the Alliance Against Seclusion and Restraint, and you are joining us again for In the News, a segment that really focuses on restraint and seclusion in the news. And we've got another news story here to share with you today. I'm going to start the clip, and we'll have a little bit of commentary as well as it plays. So let me go ahead and get started here, and we will.
Wake County parents say their third grade student, their daughter, was put in a closet as a disciplinary measure at school 24 times.
Now, first of all, kids should never be put into closets or closet-side rooms or seclusion rooms or chill-out rooms or blue rooms or cool rooms or de-escalation rooms or whatever we call them. If we're putting children in rooms by themselves and not letting them out, it is seclusion and should not be happening anywhere.
Sued the school district about this, and the judge did rule in their favor.
CBS 17's Bridget Chapman joins us live.
And it's important. It's not easy, but it's important that parents and families are taking action, and applaud the family here that sued the school district. This is not an easy thing to do, but it is sometimes necessary to bring about change.
Finding out why they're not satisfied with that ruling alone. Bridget, what's the family saying?
Well, Angela, they say that the ruling is healing in a sense, but here's the thing. School staff putting kids in closets as a form of discipline is actually allowed in the state of North Carolina.
And in many states across the country, seclusion of children in closet-sized rooms, alone, against their will, is permitted by law. In fact, most states seclusion is allowed in. It should be federally banned. We need our federal lawmakers to pass the Keeping All Students Safe Act that would ban the use of seclusion in all schools across the nation. But right now it is allowed in most states. We have a number of states that have banned the use of seclusion or isolation for some or all students, but right now it is allowed in most states.
Judge just ruled that the way this school went about it was wrong. Kevin and Jocelyn Peace are sharing their daughter's story, but want to keep her face out of it. She's now 12, dealing with trauma she experienced at 8 years old. It started when she enrolled in Scotts Ridge Elementary School.
8 years old. Why are we putting an 8-year-old child in a seclusion room? This should never be happening to any child. But again, if you look at what federal guidance says, and again, we have no federal law, federal guidance from 2012 from the Department of Education said you don't use restraint or seclusion unless it is a crisis situation, you've tried all else, and it's needed to avoid imminent serious physical harm, which is essentially a life-threatening situation. You have to ask yourself, what life-threatening situation was there that required them to put an 8-year-old into seclusion?
She was like any other little third grade girl, about 75 pounds, and excited about school.
She was in a behavioral program for her learning disabilities. As the weeks and months went by, her anxiety spiraled.
And again, if we look at the data here, what we know are the majority of kids that are put into seclusion or isolation are children with disabilities. This is not an appropriate intervention. In fact, we don't believe seclusion is ever appropriate in any context. Putting a human being in a room by themselves and not letting them out is not therapeutic. It's not beneficial. It should not be happening.
We went to spring. She's starting to talk about dying and wanting to die and not living. So we knew that things were deteriorating.
One day, their family friend was at the school and took video while seeing their daughter restrained and carried out of the cafeteria.
We found out later she was taken to a closet in the teacher's lounge where the door was held shut from the outside.
That led.
This is unconscionable. Putting a child in a closet against their will and not letting them out should never happen. This is not in any way an appropriate intervention. And in fact, if you really break it down, it's abusive.
Them finding out their daughter had been shut in the closet dozens of times for bad behavior for up to an hour and a half at a time.
Do you know what kind of children we deal with every day? Is the actual answer that I got.
They asked for it to immediately stop, but were.
Wow. And how many parents have heard things like that? It does not justify it. Abuse is not justified, by not enough staff or any other reason. Now, I very much feel for the difficulty that a lot of educators are in, but we can't abuse people because we don't have time, we don't have resources, we don't know how else to handle the behavior.
It's allowed. Were you surprised being put in a closet was allowed?
Yes. Yes, I had never heard of that before.
They sued the district. State law allows the use of restraint and seclusion under certain circumstances. A judge ruled the school inappropriately did it in this case. The judge found that.
And let's just be clear, any seclusion is inappropriate. Now, I appreciate the judge ruling in this case that it was inappropriate. I understand that it's allowed in North Carolina, but it is inappropriate, should never be happening to any child.
Failed to inform the parents about what was happening, and the district failed to report it to the state.
It is crucial for a school system to be open, honest, and upfront about what is happening with those children when the parents aren't there.
We greatly appreciate the parents here doing what they can to bring about change, and the fact that they're not satisfied, we understand, we relate to. We need to do better. We need to do better for all kids everywhere, not just in North Carolina, but across the country. So again, just want to appreciate what the parents are doing here to help bring about change. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this segment. Appreciate you being here today and being part of this segment with us. And we will see you again next time. All right. Well, thanks for joining us.